I got wood coming out of the yin-yang here. You may have heard of a Holz Hausen. That's a German or possibly Scandinavian name for a wood house. And it's a way to stack and pile wood. Well, I'm going to make my own version of it. It's going to be a Jeffro Hausen. So what I'm going to do is this row here is going to come off. It's going to get split and thrown in randomly in a pile that looks like that pile over there. And then when I get it up enough, I'm going to start laying a layer of blocks horizontally on here, like this. And the purpose of that, of course, is to protect the end grain on the blocks that'll be left as a water repellent. And then it'll be like that, and then eventually it'll end up like this. What used to look like this, now been turned into a pile of sawdust. So, just a matter of cleaning up here. This is the third load of sawdust and bark chips and stuff that I've taken off the lawn. And there's a skiff of sawdust left here, and if you think, my God, what a mess, why would you do that to your front lawn? Well, this is actually some of the healthiest part of the grass on my lawn. You can see right here it's very green, not so green over there. The grass will grow up through here in no time at all. And in fact, in the short term, this sawdust will help because sawdust is great at retaining moisture. And in the long term, it'll just blend in with the grass clippings and all the leaves that come off these maple trees. I don't rake them. I chew them up with the lawnmower, and I leave them on the yard every year. So really what I'm doing here is slowly building soil. 2 weeks later, if you look hard, you can see the sawdust in there, but it's gone. And on top of that, I've got a lot more of this sawdust, which I'll show you. And it's not a waste, it's not garbage. I am going to use it. These are all the smallest logs that were in the big log pile. I cut all these in half, got them down to 8-footers that I can handle, and they'll be put in the back with the other 8-footers that I'll show you in a minute. The other 8-footers that you saw in the yard are going to end up here. This is going to be my 8-footer stack. A bunch of 4-footers on here too, some fairly large 4-footers, but the 8-footers are fairly small. Same as the ones that are over there on the big lawn. And that wood, I have no intentions of doing anything with this year. All of that and all the 8-footers to come. I also don't really intend to do anything with this stack of 4-footers. 12 feet long, and we'll average it out at around 4 feet. So that is a full cord and a half, which means that it's about 4.5 face cords. So anyway, sawdust goes over there, and the plan for that is, with this wood you see sitting here on sawhorses, I want to build myself a set of raised bed gardens, C-shape or U-shape, 12 feet long, 3 feet wide, filled in the back, and that is going to be all the bottom fill. The whole bottom of my raised bed garden is going to be full of all that sawdust and wood chips, and maybe even some other this crappy wood that I got around here. These blocks here are all going to get split and thrown on this random pile. This stuff that's already split is definitely going to burn next year. It's mostly very dry cherry wood, you see here, and a lot of ash. And same as this small stack of blocks here. This is mostly ash. There's a couple of maples I put in here, but it's mostly ash. And I'm going to split that up. I'm going to add to that pile, and then I'm going to pile that here and in a stacked neat pile, because I need to know how much I've got. And then I got all these blocks, a whole stack of blocks here, one on top of the other. It's about almost an 8-foot circle, 5 feet high. Probably 2 or 3 face cords of wood in that too. And then there's this stack here on the sides, more over here. And then this thing here is the start of my Hausen. So all these blocks around the perimeter have to end up inside. This is the progress to date. A lot of loose wood in the center, 4 or 5 rows around the perimeter. And though my base is square, you really don't have much choice but to round the corners. And my next question is whether I leave this row of secondary verticals there or take them off and split them and build that up. The whole point is, I got to split this stuff at some point anyway. Really just long-term storage. Same as the 4-footers and the 8-footers. Every time I get a sliver like this, I keep it because what you don't want is you don't want your block slanting out this way. So it's good for rain. The wall would fall apart. So put them underneath here to make sure that the wood either slopes into the middle or is horizontally level. We'll see what we can do. It may butt out a bit. It won't be the end of the world. Well, I may not be taking much more wood out of the center, but I got lots of room there to put some, split and put some of these blocks in, so let's do that. At this point, I've got the wall about as high as I want to take it. And I'm wondering to myself how I'm going to finish off the top when I realize that this section of the one wall is bulging out, and I need to fix it. Unfortunately, every time I add wood or I tap it, it gets worse until finally, there she goes, the whole wall lets go. Son of a bitch. Nothing I can do but rebuild it. It isn't worth tearing the whole thing apart, so fix what I got, move ahead. Cost me about half an hour to rebuild it. I started this thing months ago. I think I started it in late March or early April. It's now June the 2nd. But this thing was of the essence because if you're going to have a garden, you got to get it planted before the end of May. I finished that side in the video, and I've got this side finished as well and planted. After going through the exercise or experiment of building this wood housing, I don't think I'll be bothering to build another one next year. Main reason is they take longer, it's more work. Because it's round, the wood's never where you want it. You're always going around in circles trying to find the wood to pile it here, and then you gotta go over here. I don't find it very efficient. Taking longer has nothing to do with the fact that one of the walls fell down. That was caused by the fact that my wood splitter's over on the other side of the pile. So I was throwing my wood into the center, and every time it would fall this way, and it was knocking these blocks out, and I didn't catch it early enough, and as a result I tried to fix it and I lost the whole wall. I don't see any benefit to doing this. I don't think it's going to dry any better than this traditional wood stack that you see here, which is 2 rows of wood, 16 feet long. And the other thing I don't like about these things is you need a calculator to figure out how much wood is in here. I mean, this thing is 8 feet this way, 7 feet that way. I'm 6 feet tall, not quite as tall as me because it's sitting on pallets. So, but it's a good 5 or 5.5 feet tall, 7.5 foot circle. So if you do the math on that, pi r squared times height, you'll find out that this thing holds about 5 to 5.5 face cords. I'll get the exact number, but I think it's somewhere around 240 or 250 cubic feet. A full cord's 128 feet. A face cord is a third of that, around 42 cubic feet. So when you have just a random pile of wood like this beside an area where you want to pile it, it's very fast just to grab a stick from here and pile it on these linear piles. And you just continue with this straight row of random piled wood off your splitter, and then you stack it sideways and make yourself a single row, double row, triple row, whatever you want of wood. Faster, much more efficient than doing that, going around in circles. The other thing about this style of wood pile is you need a step ladder to finish it. I don't need a step ladder to work on this. 4 feet is high enough. Anyway, it was interesting. It was worth trying, but like I say, won't be doing it again. Thanks for watching.